As a Singaporean, I'm trying to hold two truths at once: the horror of October 7th and the unbearable civilian suffering in Gaza. If we want peace, we have to talk about both, calmly, honestly, and with care for each other here at home. I just watched a roundtable on Gaza. It was heartfelt, it was passionate, but it felt framed from the start with one conclusion: that Israel is committing genocide. Now, words matter. Genocide is not a slogan, it's a legal term about intent. If we use it, we need evidence that meets that bar. Precision with language is not moral evasion, it's moral discipline. The discussion skipped quickly from tragedy to verdict. Yes, the scale of loss in Gaza is devastating. But if we start by declaring genocide as settled fact, we risk turning a difficult conversation into a courtroom with no defense, and we shut down people who might otherwise listen. The panel leaned heavily on humanitarian language, which I share. But I heard very little about October 7th. The mass killings, the kidnappings, the families still waiting for their hostages. Humanitarian concern must include all victims, full stop. Condemn the terror attack. Demand the hostages' immediate release. That matters morally, and it matters for any ceasefire that lasts. Some pushed hard. The dialogue felt one-sided, no clear pro-Israel voice on the panel. We should value balance. Put people in the same room who disagree, but make them speak responsibly. Balance doesn't mean false equivalence. It means letting rigorous questions land on both. It's not hard to say two sentences together. I condemn the humanitarian disaster in Gaza. I also condemn Hamas for using human shields and starting this phase of war. Mature societies can hold competing truths, especially a multiracial, multi-religious one like ours. Before we condemn Israel, the world must also condemn Hamas and insist on releasing hostages. At the same time, every military action must protect civilians and obey the laws of war. Hostages first, civilians always. That's the minimum for a ceasefire that actually holds. Think of World War II. Many still believe the bombs ended the war, but many also grieve Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We hold both thoughts. If history teaches anything, it's humility. There's rarely an absolute right or wrong for every moment, but there are clear wrongs: terror attacks on civilians, collective punishment, indiscriminate violence. We can be pro-humanity without being anti any community. My take after the video? The heart for Gaza's civilians is necessary, but incomplete without a clear, consistent moral accounting for October 7th and the hostages, and without concrete security guarantees for tomorrow. Condemn Hamas, protect Palestinians, demand legal compliance from Israel, speak carefully, listen generously. That's the balance I'm trying to keep.
Israel gave me everything. I'm the product of peace between Jews and Arabs, and how Jews and Arabs can live peacefully side by side together, as brothers and sisters. My name is Sofia Salma Khalifa, and this is my story. I'm a Muslim Arab growing up in Israel. I'm a mother of two, and I have a master's from Stanford University. I was born to a Muslim family in Israel. My mom is a single mom. I have 8 siblings. My dad has 2 wives in parallel, and my mom decided she didn't want to live with his wife in the same house and didn't want to be in that village. And she went and moved to Nahariya. This is the Jewish town in northern Israel where she raised us, 9 children, on her own. We were supported by the welfare in Israel, by the welfare system, because otherwise my mom would not be able to provide. Israel is a very beautiful and strong multi-ethnic democracy. Around 20% of the population are Arab Muslims, like myself. We also have Christian Arabs, we have Druze. The Arab citizens of Israel receive equal rights. They get welfare, they get education, they get healthcare, they get all the rights, the protection, anything that a Jewish citizen would get. My Muslim teacher used to teach us everything about the Jews who stole the land. He would be teaching us that we would never be able to become anything in this country because this is the Jewish country, and the Jewish people would not allow you to become an engineer. They would not allow you to become doctor. You cannot be anything. And we will have to resist. We would have to fight. We would have to do everything that we can to get the land back. I remember leaving these classes feeling like I don't have a future. But that really contradicted my experience with the Jewish people that I met. Because they were loving, they were kind, I was their friend, I would go to their houses. They didn't mind that I was Arab, they didn't see me as an Arab. They see me just as their friend. So it didn't land very well with me. I was with my girlfriend, she was staring, and I was asking her, like, what are you thinking about? And she said, like, you know, I really wish one day to become a suicide bomber. I really wish to become a shaheed one day. That moment really broke me to pieces. On the school break between 8th grade and 9th grade in the summer, I was discovered by a fashion photographer. That sounds really exciting. I should try that. But I knew that this is a choice of no return. I cannot step my foot in the village if I'm a model. I travel to Europe for work, and I spend a lot of my time in Tel Aviv. My uncle, my mother's brother, he threatened to cut off my head for dishonoring the family. And he obviously could not do that because we live in Israel, and Israel protects women. When he said that to my mom, she told him, "You won't even touch a hair on her head." I felt so empowered by her. And I wanted to send this message to all the Arab girls that you can be anything that you want. You can pursue any path that you want. It's very important to note that Israel pulled out of Gaza completely, unilaterally in 2005. They uprooted all the Jewish citizens who used to live in Gaza. All of them. All of them were taken out forcefully. After 2005, there was no Jew alive or dead in Gaza. They even take out the graves of the Jewish people because they didn't know what is going to happen to the graves. And this was a test case to see how a self-governing Gaza would look like. Gaza is a very fertile land. They had greenhouses that used to export flowers to all of Europe. And the hope in Israel was that we're hoping that Gaza can become the Singapore of the Middle East, this tiny country that has this very good economy with all the greenhouses, and they have the most beautiful beaches in the region, and they can go and fish, they can build, we're going to help them in tech, this is our path for peace. Days after the Jews, left Gaza, Hamas went and burned out all the greenhouses. They burned everything to the ground because this was the Jews' greenhouses before. If people care about Muslim lives or any Palestinian lives in Gaza, you first and foremost want to make sure that their leadership cares about them. And Hamas is a sovereign government of Gaza. It's a terror organization that hijacked the Palestinian people for their own religious cause of transforming the Middle East and the entire world into an Islamic state. Palestinians don't have the right to say the truth. They cannot openly speak about the atrocities that Hamas is doing to them. If they speak against it, they're dead. People keep saying, if you're calling Hamas a terror organization, this is Islamophobia. No, this is not Islamophobia, this is the fact. I love Muslim people, I'm a Muslim. My family is Muslim, and I'm still condemning what Hamas did. Why people cannot see the truth about this situation? A lot of these people come from a reality that they teach you from a very young age to hate the Jews. The Jews stole the lands to the Palestinians. The Jews are responsible for all the atrocities in the world, and we just need to destroy them. So some of the people are brainwashed, and they're sometimes blinded to their own anti-Semitism. They say, I'm not anti-Semitic, I'm anti-Zionist. Now, what does that mean? It's like saying, I'm for women, but I don't think they should have rights. Because Zionism means that you believe in the Jewish people's right to have a state where they're safe and free from persecution, right? So how can you stand for the Jews and not wanting them to be able to defend themselves? And the other side, I think it's like a herd of sheep who are just like following whatever sound good to them. And they think that Hamas is the weak part, Israel is strong, and thus we need to support the weak. The weak could be a terror organization. And they're not that weak after we saw what they were able to do on October 7th. The everyday American should care about this because the West is going to be next. Israel is just the first. Some of the countries, the Arab countries, or let's take for example Iran, calls Israel the small devil and America the big devil. Is this what we want to support in this country? I hear a lot of people calling Israel an apartheid state. Maybe let's start with explaining what is an apartheid. It's a discrimination based on race. Arabs in Israel, who constitute 20% of the Israeli population, they're equal citizens. They're getting all the rights from Israel. They have education, healthcare, welfare, full rights, full protection. They're equal citizens for everything. Where's the apartheid? I'm very proud in being Arab. I'm very proud about being Muslim. But all I needed as a child, as a human being, to realize my full potential was give me the security, the safety, the education. Give me the opportunity. Israel gave me everything. I'm the product of peace between Jews and Arabs, and how Jews and Arabs can live peacefully side by side together as brothers and sisters. As an Arab Muslim, it's very important for me to speak out about these topics, to support Israel. You have to speak the truth. You have to stand with justice. I know the truth. People who didn't live in Israel don't know the truth, and we need to fix it.
Alaikum. It is official. Israel is committing a genocide against the Palestinian people. Between the ICJ, the ICC, the UN, the Red Cross, the WWF, and speculation of various other human rights organizations, the International Association of Genocide Scholars has taken a vote, and 84% of the global experts on genocide have concluded, Wallahi, it's official, there is a genocide in Gaza. Now, I would never doubt the official Association of Genocide Scholars because, well, it's official and an association, and you just don't question those kinds of things, especially with how reliable human rights organizations have been in the last few years. But what I did decide to do is call some of my colleagues, other global experts in genocide, to help me understand this resolution.
Hi, I'm Emily Schrader, journalist, advocate, and scholar of genocide. The work we do here at IAGS is extremely important. We draft decisive resolutions about countries committing genocide globally in order to ignore genocidal atrocities in countries such as Syria, Sudan, and the Congo, so we can continuously condemn the Jews.
And Emily, can you tell me what makes you a genocide expert? How does one join this association?
Oh, well, it's actually quite simple. I just paid $30 to join.
What do you mean?
It's easy. You just register here.
Emily, how do we upload our credentials? How do we prove our expertise on genocide?
What do you mean? That's it. That's the process.
So I called another expert I knew on genocide.
Hi, I'm David Rabo, a news reporter.
So David, I'm wondering, do you find that there might be any bias amongst your peers in this council on genocide?
What do you mean?
What I mean is members who may lean towards voting for certain resolutions based on their ethnic, religious, or political affiliations.
Oh, absolutely there is bias. We just paid $120 to join for a year.
I've heard.
Have you seen the council members who voted on this Gaza resolution? 70% are named Muhammad.
After deep investigative research done by qualifying experts such as myself and other genocide experts, we have concluded without a shadow of a doubt that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza. And by ensuring access to essential medicines in Gaza such as Ozempic, as our new scholarly recognized resolution at the IAGS suggests, we can save lives. The ongoing humanitarian crisis in Gaza has severely restricted access to healthcare and essential medicines. Among the medications most severely in demand is Ozempic, which is widely used to treat obesity. Obesity is a serious and rising health challenge in Gaza. Obesity is a serious and rising health challenge in Gaza, with long-term impacts on physical health, quality of life, and the healthcare system as a whole. This will be passed as an official resolution that we implore the international community to report on ad nauseum. And we here at the International Association of Genocide Scholars would love to help circulate your reports and articles for a contribution of $30. Free Palestine.
دقيقة ونص ونص حيخبط صح؟ دقيقة ونص حيخبطون في غيره؟ الو في تمام هيك خلاص؟ خلص تمام
Discuss, don't divide. Share if you believe we can be pro-humanity without being anti any community. Alex, Grassland Universe signing off.